Well. Welcome back to the Short News Podcast, recorded live from Alex's car. I apologize for the windshield wiper sound, but what the fuck am I to do when I want to be loud? I want to be myself. I want to do the thing, the thing. Talk about the shit. You remember the days, folks, when we used to talk about the shit back in 2019, 2020, 2021, and then something happened in 2022. It all started with a girl, and it all ended with a girl. How many times have I fucking said this shit? Hi, my name is Alex Mador, and a lot has happened in the world since I've been gone. I can breathe for the first time. I don't know the rest of the lyrics to that Kelly Clarkson song, and I'm sorry to my Kelly heads out there. It's all right. I think she'll be okay. She has her own show now. You know who else has his own show? This guy. Hi.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word.
What year has
Hey, anyways, Donald Trump is the president. Did you guys know that? Surprise. It's only November. I've been gone for a while. The last episode I did on TSN was Hope never left the building. Then I dipped and then I left the fucking building. I couldn't do it. Dude, this podcast and just the idea of getting in front of the microphone was still such a scary idea to me. And every time that I would sit in front of it, I would find a reason to not. I would get tired too. Like all of a sudden I would just feel tired and I'd be like, damn, all I did was think about the idea of podcasting. And that exhausted me. But anyways, here we are. Like I said, Donald Trump is the president, and it really does feel like he's on his revenge tour for the first term where they indicted me 5 times now. Now is the time for vengeance, folks. Believe me, we're going to do vengeance and we're going to do president. We're going to do lots of both. That's what they're telling me. The government has been in limbo for a few weeks now. We've been in government shutdown because Democrats and Republicans can't agree on shit. And both of them have shitty ideas about what's best for the rest of us that only benefits their own personal pockets. We won't go into that part, folks. What we'll say is this is heavily affecting working class Americans and Americans who are struggling to make ends meet already. People who depend on government programs such as SNAP benefits, food stamps, that thing Republicans always complain about and say that people abuse when it's like, how can you say that about a program that's literally designed just to make it so people can buy the food and products for their homes that they need to survive and to smell okay? I'm sorry, like when did hygiene and not being hungry come at a luxury? Why does it have to come at a luxury? Why is there a cost of living in general? Why are we worried about this type of shit? I'll tell you why. Because somewhere at the beginning of humanity, one selfish piece of shit human was the first to ask the question, okay, but what's in it for me? And look at how that's been perverted. We could be paying each other in kindness. We could be not paying each other at all. But that's not the world that we live in. We live in an AI-generated, fucking automated oligarchy that is, and this is going to be redundant because I already said oligarchy, but for those of you who don't know, a fucking world run by the 1% of people who have the most of the money. And they can control us because they have most of the money. And newsflash, none of that money ever trickled down like Ronald Reagan ever said it was. That's why he's in hell. Yeah, let that sink in. Ronald Reagan, yeah, that dude's in hell. And let's talk about AI for a second, because I've touched upon this on the pool house. I've touched upon this here. I love AI. I think it's a lot of fun. It's helped me come to terms with and work through a lot of things, but that's because the context of what I was giving it was objective. It was not one-sided, and it included all of the data points. I fed this thing my entire fucking life, which, yeah, I understand that's like really fucked up. And how could you trust a thing? I don't. I have trust issues. We know this. I don't trust the government. I don't trust girlfriends. I don't trust my family, whatever. Listen, folks. Listen, Jack. Look, I'm not doing the voice impressions, not as much. Listen, Jack. I got something to say about that. AI is really cool for a lot of use cases. I think it has great applications when it comes to, I'm going to say it, not therapy, but like talking through things. I don't want the talk therapist out there to get replaced. I think that human element to it is extremely vital. Otherwise, you're literally talking to a fucking robot. But I think that in certain cases, when we're talking about like analyzing scenarios or saying things that you wouldn't feel comfortable normally saying to a human, but still need to get out so that you can work through it and figure out what the fuck is the problem here. I think that's revolutionary. I think that in those types of applications in science, the DNA protein folding that they're able to accomplish now in order to accelerate cancer research, I think that's beautiful. And I think that AI is perfect for that. And if you have a computer that's powerful enough, or even if you don't, you can actually go to the internet. I don't know. I don't have the link in front of me because I'm in the car, and you can donate for as long as you fucking want some of your processing power to science to utilize AI to help with these protein folding experiments for science, for cancer research, to actually do more for society than any of these fucking big name AI companies are actually fucking doing or fucking care about. I'm going to say something. I love OpenAI. I think that ChatGPT is probably the most relevant, most efficient, most useful model out there to most of us, but it can be wrong. It's wrong a lot. And the problem that I'm seeing with the way that AI is being used by big companies, the way that these big companies are implementing ChatGPT into their own platforms or into their own websites or whatever, it's half fucking baked. You're taking something that was created by humans, you're giving it no supervision, you're giving it no guardrails aside from the ones that were already baked into it, and you're replacing a job that was done by humans 5 fucking minutes ago and just saying, well, it's more efficient, it's cheaper, whatever. I trust it. Really? I want to give an example of this fucked up automation. I work with a lot of pet insurance at my job. I work in I work at a vet hospital where in my old position prior to being promoted, I did work with a lot of billing. I did work with a lot of pet insurance claims, and when submitting those online, not like the paper version, I'm going to call out the company, Trupanion. I'm sorry. You guys are great. Like, they will cover 90% of your fucking vet bill if your dog has a big surgery. That's a huge deal because these surgeries could cost like K to upwards of like 9 to 10K. You're going to want pet insurance like that. And Trupanion will pay it up front. This is not an ad because what I'm about to say is totally just calling them out, I guess. But the first time that you submit a claim like that specific claim for a client based on a certain invoice for a certain procedure, a certain vet visit, whatever, it runs through an automated system, like an AI evaluates it and approves or denies it. Now, the problem that you run into here, it's like, yeah, when it works, it's great. Those claims, they'll come back in less than 3 minutes. They'll come back in a minute and a half. I've seen them come back in 5 seconds. That's amazing. It really is. Technology is great when it works. The problem, you're going to have some mistakes. You're going to have denials come back. Now these people are panicking because they're like, I thought this was fucking covered. Even the pre-approval said it was. What's going on here? I don't have 7K right now to give you. This is why I had the pet insurance. We checked to see if this was a pre-existing condition. What the fuck is going on here? Now they're pissed at me. It's like, well, okay. Now I got to get a human involved from their end. Thank God their support after you talk to their Trupanion GPT for like 5 minutes lets you talk to a person. Then the person figures out the problem in 5 seconds. There is no reason for AI to ever be involved. It's literally causing extra steps. It's working against the idea of creating a more efficient system, which is what these people are saying that it's doing when they're implementing it into their companies. When no, you're not creating a more efficient system. You're attempting to create a cheaper system that disguises itself as more efficient when it's just faster. But when it makes mistakes, and it will, because it does, it's going to make a big fucking mess. It's going to take a little bit longer. It's going to be a lot less efficient. You're going to run into issues here, but you're going to have to get the human involved anyways that you were trying to replace. We're not ready for a fully automated society, and I don't think anybody truly wants that. You go to a Rite Aid or a Walgreens or whatever, there's one cashier. You go to a supermarket, you go to a Stop and Shop. I'm giving away that I live in the Northeast here, clearly. I mean, not that I haven't already, but you go to a Stop and Shop. Sound like Joe Biden. You go to a Stop and Shop, folks. There's no cashiers, all fucking robots. What the fuck, folks? I just want to buy my condoms in peace. My extra medium condoms in peace. Folks, and then you go to a robot, and then the robot, it can't read the UPC code, and it calls over the human anyways, folks. What the fuck is that about? That's America, folks. That's Bidenomics. No, it's just late-stage capitalism in a nutshell is what it is. It's not even Bidenomics or Trumponomics or Reaganomics. It's greed. It's corporate greed. It's companies trying to cut corners wherever they can. They see a cool, trendy technology that's novel at the moment. And they're like, let's just implement this everywhere. Do you know how many online casino or betting commercials I've seen where the people in them aren't actual actors? It's very obviously just AI-generated humans. And you can always tell by the voice because there's something bit crushed about the audio from the voice. And I really, really wish that we would just go back to hiring actors. I get it. It's easier to make a commercial if you just type in a prompt. Like, I don't know, like betting online on the Jets. Guy wins, is happy. Enter. 30 seconds later, boom, you have a big budget looking commercial, kind of. There's always something a little bit off about it. I don't like that. I'm convinced that it's shit like this that is the reason that human beings have that uneasy feeling when it comes to the uncanny valley. They say that when you get that feeling about something that looks human but isn't quite, that's a biological evolutionary response passed down from generation to generation from a time when humanity did have an enemy that did mimic itself. Look at where we are. You're getting that uncanny valley feeling. Right now, I mean, not right now. I hope you don't think I'm an AI because I'm not. I'm stuffy. I've got the sniffles. Like, I get it. I haven't talked about my ex in a while. I know. Yeah, fine. I miss her. Anyways, this is a huge issue because we see these big companies jumping the gun to save themselves a couple bucks and to not have to pay human beings benefits, but all it's doing is make their companies run worse. You can't replace the consumers with AI. You're not going to make any money in the long term. Yeah, sure, you're going to save, but you're going to hemorrhage money too. You're going to lose money just from being this inhuman. This isn't going to last. This bubble is going to pop, and I really hope that it's sooner than later. When Sam Altman came out and said, well, if those jobs are being replaced with AI, should they have really been jobs at all in the first place? I was like, this is why they invented gallows. The fact that billionaires are going around saying this shit in our faces while we struggle. There's shit like that that really pisses me off. And then there's also shit like Bill Gates going on Ellen years ago. Was it Ellen or whatever fucking show? Whatever stupid fucking fake ass feel good show that inflates the egos of these fucktards like Bill Gates. And Ellen or whoever the fuck was like, now how much do you think that a gallon jug of milk is? And he was like, I don't know, like $10. And everyone was like, what? Have you never gone shopping, Bill Gates? Do you not pay attention to prices? Of course he fucking doesn't pay attention to prices. He hires somebody to go do all of his shopping for him. You think that man is going to be caught dead in a supermarket? No, because he knows how many people he's fucked over. He knows how many enemies he's made of the working class. That's why people like him are building bunkers underground somewhere we have no idea where, somewhere deserted. It's not to hide from some nuclear war, it's to hide from you and me. Now they're fucking AI, automated bullshit to replace us. And what do they think that's going to do? Make us happy? There's no universal basic income to financially sedate us with. We're just going to starve. And when things starve, not just people, living things starve, they get vicious. They get aggressive. They go primal. They look for something or someone to blame, and they know that's what they're doing, and that's why they're building the fucking bunker. So before you, I don't know, go to your local drive-thru and celebrate that they've replaced the minimum wage worker who is just trying to pay their rent with an automated system that doesn't know the difference between a hot coffee and an iced coffee, think about it. Think about what this means for you and me and for everyone else. Those billionaires aren't fighting for us. They're not on our side. There's a reason that people who were previously against Donald Trump, outspokenly, billionaires that called him a dunce, that called him a jackass, people like Bezos, like Tim Cook, were standing behind him at his inauguration this time around because they're scared. They know Big Daddy Trump, the fellow billionaire, wants to fuck over the American people just as much as they do, and that he will protect them. Again, I want you to think about these things. I know that the mouthpiece that they're coming from isn't the most, but doesn't it make sense to you? Don't you go home from your second job every day, fucking exhausted, and you turn on your TV that you paid for with Klarna and you're still on your fifth payment, you're behind a couple. You go on the news and you see Kim Kardashian I just failed my bar exam, but I'll take it again because it's okay. I can go to law school for fucking ever and never go into debt because I'm Kim Kardashian and I got wealthy off of getting fucked by a rapper. And it wasn't even that good. His stroke game and hers. Mediocre game. You're telling me that if I have a fat enough ass, I can just get fucked by Ray J? And I barely even have to show myself. That was the Ray J sex tape. And then I'll become a fucking billionaire and I can go on TV and be like, people just don't want to work anymore. Is that all it takes? I just have to get fucked? We're all getting fucked, folks. They're doing it to you right now. And it doesn't feel good, does it? While you're sitting there in your one-room studio apartment, struggling, working 3 jobs, just trying to make ends meet, thinking to yourself, why me? Thinking to yourself, why them? Why is Kim Kardashian out here so fucking rich and just shitting on people like us while we don't have anything? We have negative shit. We're just trying to survive. And now they're freezing the fucking food stamps on people. Do you see what's happening? Do you see the vice grip they have the regular working class American people in right now? Hell, even the upper class that are not part of the 1%. They still feel some of this shit. They're still mad. They're still looking for somebody to blame. We're all getting fucked. And I think we all see it. And I am happy that Democrats and Republicans, or whatever side that you're on, I can have normal conversations with anyone now on whatever side, because we all agree that we're getting fucked over. We just have different people that we're blaming for it. And that's where the disconnect becomes. But we all feel like we're getting fucked by somebody. We just don't know who exactly. But I'm hoping that we all figure that out together. I'm hoping maybe I've drawn you a little bit of a map here. And another note, or on another note, I guess I should say, because I brought up drive-thrus, and this is something that's pissing me off. I don't want to use your fucking app, McDonald's. I don't care if I get one free cheeseburger on my birthday. Like, thanks. That's really cool. But see, first I asked the question, because I was going to the drive-thru just to get a fucking coffee before work. They're like, hi, welcome to McDonald's. Will you be using our app today? And I'm sitting there with my window open at the drive-thru like, no, I'm just here to order a coffee. I'll be using my fucking debit card. Like, why are we changing this? It was fine the way that it was. That's such a weird extra step. Like, if it was for efficiency, then this would not be the way that we would be doing it. You would just have the fucking drive-thru the way that the fucking drive-thru has been, not adding a whole extra step that trips people up. There's people that go to that and they're like, what? Wait, what? And you have to repeat yourself. Will you be using our app today? And they're probably like, what do you mean app? And then you got to explain it to them. Extra fucking steps. So I'm asking myself the question one day, a couple of weeks ago, like, why are they doing this? What's the point? If it is creating extra complications, which, like, all of these complaints sound very Larry David of me, and I'm sorry. I'm an old man. I'm 29. I'm geriatric. But if they're doing this, if they're creating these extra annoying fucking steps, then it's got to be for a different reason. Now, the app is free. They entice you with a couple of deals every fucking, I don't know, new moon or whatever. But it's an app on your phone. What does your phone do? It tracks you. What do apps do? Track you. McDonald's, what are they collecting? All of the fucking data. They're collecting your location. They say it's so that they know which restaurant you're closest to. Okay, sure, that makes sense. But why are you using my location when I'm not on the McDonald's app? McDonald's? Why are you the FBI, McDonald's? Now I get why you're giving me the free burger every other birthday or whatever. The free fries on Free Friday, but only if I use the app. Now I get why you're trying to onboard everybody to this fucking app. You can sell that, all of that fucking data that our phones collects for free. You're just sitting there. This is passive income. And then imagine you're a criminal. You're a hungry criminal. You just did some crimes. You want a cheeseburger. You go to McDonald's. You use the app. They've got you, dude. It's fucking over, man. This is what I meant like months ago, back in July or whatever, when I came on here and I was talking about the Omnipticon. I was like, this isn't the Panopticon, man. This is the Omnipticon, man. I'm not on LSD, man. I'm not sleep deprived, man. I've just been reading. Like, okay, it really is the Omnipticon, though. And what I mean by that is they can literally surveil you whenever they fucking want from a lot of different apps. Google's got contracts with the United States government, the Department of Defense, or Department of War, as they've been rebranded and renamed recently. You see how evil everything is becoming? Google's tracking all your shit. You've got Google apps on your phone. Don't lie to me. You got one, at least. YouTube. YouTube's tracking the fuck out of you. You got the Domino's app. That shit's probably giving all your info to the FBI. You're on a list because you ordered a Hawaiian-style pizza one time on a Friday at 5 p.m. That was way too early. You weren't even drunk. That's weird. Red flag. You're on the list. You're not allowed to fly anymore. It's Jover, bro. And yes, I'm exaggerating. I'm being dramatic here. But I've really started to be mindful of not only what I put into my body. I know, very ironic coming from me based on my history. But also what apps I put on my phone. I'm very mindful of what data is being collected of me. I say no to every possible, can we track you? Question from every app when I'm allowed to say no to it. And I've deleted a ton of shit from my phone. Yeah, I still use Facebook. I think the older I get, the more I use Facebook. I didn't understand why people in their 30s use Facebook the way that they do. I thought that was weird. I thought that was like geriatric old people behavior. But now I'm one of them, 29, pushing 30. But I love Facebook. I think it's kind of fucking fun. You can go in there, you can poke people, just poke them. That sounds gross. But no, like a lot of my coworkers are on there and a lot of them are older. So I think that's part of why. But it's fun. You get to see what everyone's up to, and people aren't as fake on Facebook or as, what's the word I'm looking for? Vain on Facebook as they are on Instagram, unless you're me and you have the setting like also post to Facebook and Threads set as the default every time you make a post. But anyways, my point is, yeah, sure, your phone probably has like 500 gigs of storage. So you could install all of the apps. But does that mean that you should install all of the apps? Probably not. You should probably check what kinds of stuff that these companies are collecting from you and where it's going. And I know that's a lot of extra reading and a lot of extra work, but they don't want you to do that extra reading. They don't want you to do that extra work. They're actually expecting you to be dumb and not do the extra reading or the extra work. You see what I'm saying? They're calling you dumb, dude. You're going to take that shit? You're going to take that shit from Angry Birds when you say, yes, collect all my data, send it to China or wherever the fuck? Or are you going to do something about it? You're going to say, wait a minute. Why do you need to track me, Angry Birds? I just want to, I don't know, throw some birds at some pigs. What's the deal? What's the deal with your cell phone turning into a glorified tracking device with porn on it? Unless you're not into that. Like me, I don't watch porn. What are you talking about? What is porn? I don't even know what that is. I read it somewhere. I read that word somewhere. I've never seen a boob in my life. Ever. I don't even know what boobs are. Anyways, is there anything else I want to talk about here? I feel like my field recorder is probably going to die on me soon, but I've talked about Trump a little bit. Still no Epstein updates between the government shutdown, Charlie Kirk getting assassinated, anything else that I missed there in between that's stressing you out that you're trying to forget? Yeah, I think they've successfully distracted the masses from ever asking about the Epstein flight logs ever again. They really did it. Oh, one more thing. Congratulations to Zoran Mondani, or as Republicans intentionally call him, Zoltar Mondalini, or however the fuck they say it, on beating Andrew Cuomo for mayor of New York City. That's fucking amazing, man. Like, we finally have some left-winged good news, some leftist good news here. He's going to try to make New York more affordable in a lot of ways that are just common sense, you know? And he's not going to be a racist Italian pervert like Andrew Cuomo. I don't like Andrew Cuomo. We've talked about this. Remember when he just like massacred all those old people in the nursing homes? We did a lot of things with nursing homes. We killed all the people in the nursing homes. Today is Monday, and I lost to Zoltan Mondandolini. I think that it was rigged, and he is a jihadist. When Cuomo started saying things like that on like Twitter or Threads or wherever he was doing that, I was really like, what? The mask really has been lifted. No one ever really cared about woke, did they? On either side. Andrew Cuomo's a Democrat. That's weird. Like, all of a sudden, Trump gets elected again. Everyone's like, we don't care anymore about your trans rights. I actually think because you have a penis, You are a man, even though you have boobs and identify as a woman and in every other way look and present and are a woman. If I had not asked about what you're carrying there in your pants, I'm losing it. The Cuomo voice, it's gone. If you haven't noticed, I'm having trouble with my voice impressions. I talked about this on the pool house recently, or not very recently, like a couple months ago, last time that I tried podcasting. But yeah, no, I've been trying to lay off the impressions because it really was a dissociative defense mechanism for me to find an easier way for me to say the things that I really wanted to say, but not with my voice, which is cowardly. If I'm going to say the shit that I want to say, then I need to be able to say it with my own voice. And that's what I've been working on here and finding that voice. Which is why the last couple of times I've sounded a little bit different, trying different things, trying to find myself here. And hopefully this episode was a little bit more fun than the previous ones have been, where I've been a little bit more tender, it seems like, just a little more cracked open like an egg. If I can do an impression of that, then I would. Like, thank you for it. Was so like, it felt like I was talking to a dog at work, which I guess that makes sense. Like, the world is in shambles. Maybe we all feel helpless in a way. And I was like, I'm going to tuck the people in. How about I tuck the American people in? That's not what we fucking need. I think what we need is to be fired up. What we need is to remember that we have self-worth and that just because somebody is worth $600 billion, that does not make their life more worth living than yours is. That does not make them more entitled to survival than you are. But that's what they're trying to do. That's what they're trying to make you feel, and they're trying to make you fine with it. Now, let me ask you this. Are you fine with it? You're not saying anything. Are you fine with it? Exactly. I didn't think so. So I think it's time we start speaking up. I'm not saying go out and do some extreme shit. Don't do that. Because then we're all fucked. Then martial law is going to happen. But we still live in a country where we have freedom of speech. And we still live in a country where you are allowed to peacefully protest. You are allowed to write to your senator. You are allowed to organize and unionize and fight back against your fucking oppressors who are trying to take away your coin. So that's what we're going to do here. In the last couple of times that I've said that I'm back, I don't think that I was. I was trying to be. I don't know why. I wasn't ready to come back and podcast, but now I'm fucking fired up. And I've channeled that anger and that fired upness once again, finally, for the first time in maybe 3 years, in a place where it actually fucking belongs, not directed at an ex-girlfriend. I'm directing it at the government. I'm gonna start writing songs about how I hate the government now. That'd be fun. I'm drinking because of you, government, or you won't call me back, government, or why do you keep showing up back in my life only to keep a distance or disappear, government? Damn, that one kind of goes hard for the government. But you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. And no, I'm not drinking again. That was just lyrics from old songs. But, we're back. We're fired up. We're angry and we're sober, which means that I'm going to be pretty fucking pissed. Because although it's been almost a year since I've been an alcoholic, well, I mean, once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic, but you know what I mean. Been quitting drinking almost a year. I'm pretty fucking pissed about it still. I still miss beer. It still makes me mad that I can't chill out the way that I used to. So I'm going to blame the government for that too. I'm going to take all that anger and I'm going to put it into this show. And you and me, the listener, and me, the speaker, the talker, the guy with the weird fucking voice, we're going to get pissed off together. How does that sound? So, until next time, I'm Alex Mador. This has been the Short News Podcast, and it will continue to be the Short News Podcast, and I will see you on the next one. Much love, stay safe, and fight the power